Now, you might think that a car is just an engine, four wheels and a place to put your cheese and pickle sandwich. But you, my friend, would be wrong. Dead wrong. See, nestled between that engine and those wheels is a magical box of cogs and gears that can make the difference between a dull commute and a truly exhilarating drive. That, my friends, is the transmission. It's the unsung hero, the silent partner in crime that dictates how your car delivers power to the tarmac. And believe me, there's a whole lot more to it than meets the eye. Over the next few minutes, we'll be delving into the oily underbelly of 6 common transmission types, dissecting their pros, cons, and the quirks that make them tick. So buckle up, grab a cuppa, and prepare to have your gearbox knowledge significantly enhanced. The automatic transmission, the darling of the masses, the epitome of driving convenience. This, my friends, is the transmission that requires the least amount of effort from the driver. No need for fancy footwork on the clutch or wrestling with a gear lever. Just slot it into D for drive and you're off. The automatic transmission, much like a well-trained butler, takes care of all the gear changes for you, leaving you free to focus on more important things like admiring the scenery or perfecting your rendition of Bohemian Rhapsody. Now, the heart of an automatic transmission is a device called a torque converter. Imagine it as a sort of fluid coupling between the engine and the gearbox. As the engine spins, it sends fluid swirling in the torque converter, which in turn transmits the power to the wheels. This fluid coupling makes for smooth, seamless gear changes, perfect for wafting along the motorway or navigating congested city streets. But of course, every rose has its thorn, and the automatic transmission is no exception. While it excels in comfort and ease of use, it can be a bit thirstier for fuel compared to its manually operated brethren, and let's not even get started on the potential repair bills if that complex system of gears and valves decides to throw a tantrum. Right, let's talk about the automated manual transmission, or AMT for short. Now imagine a regular manual gearbox, but instead of you, a bunch of computers and actuators decide when to change gears. Sounds like a recipe for disaster, doesn't it? Well, it can be. You see, AMTs are essentially manual transmissions dressed up in automatic clothing. They use a system of sensors and actuators to control the clutch and shift gears, mimicking the actions of a human driver, but often with the grace of a drunken octopus. The main draw of an AMT is its affordability. They're cheaper to manufacture than traditional automatics, which makes them a popular choice for budget-conscious car buyers. And because they're based on a manual gearbox, they tend to be more fuel-efficient than their fully automatic counterparts. But don't be fooled by their wallet-friendly nature. AMTs are notorious for their jerky gear changes, often leaving you feeling like you're being launched from a catapult every time the gearbox decides to shift up. Now, the continuously variable transmission, or CVT, as it's more commonly known, is a bit of an oddball in the transmission world. You see, unlike your traditional gearboxes with their fixed set of gears, the CVT doesn't actually have any gears in the traditional sense. Instead, it uses a system of belts and pulleys to seamlessly vary the gear ratio, allowing the engine to stay in its sweet spot for maximum efficiency. Imagine it like a cone rolling on another cone, constantly adjusting its position to find the perfect ratio. This infinite variability is what gives CVTs their characteristic smooth acceleration, free from the jarring shifts of a conventional automatic. They're like the silk pajamas of the transmission world, smooth, comfortable, and utterly devoid of drama. But as with most things in life, this smoothness comes at a price. CVTs, particularly in their earlier iterations, have gained a bit of a reputation for being somewhat fragile. Push them too hard and you might find yourself staring at a rather hefty repair bill. Now we're talking my language. The dual-clutch transmission, or DCT, is the high-performance darling of the transmission world. The gear-swapping equivalent of a caffeine-fueled honey badger on roller skates. It's fast, it's furious, and it'll leave you grinning like a fool every time you put your foot down. The secret to the DCT's lightning-fast shifts lies in its name dual clutches. See, while a conventional transmission makes do with a single clutch, the DCT has two. One clutch handles the odd-numbered gears while the other takes care of the even-numbered ones. This allows the transmission to pre-select the next gear before you even think about it, resulting in shifts that are so quick they're practically instantaneous. It's like having a psychic co-driver who can predict your every gear change before you even know you want to make it. But of course, all this performance comes at a price. DCTs are complex beasts with more moving parts than a Swiss watch factory, which means they can be expensive to manufacture and even more expensive to repair if something goes wrong. The sequential transmission, my friends, is not for the faint of heart. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a gearbox designed for one purpose and one purpose only: to swap cogs with the speed and precision of a fighter jet pilot on a sugar rush. Forget your fancy dual clutches and torque converters. This is a transmission that means business. Sequential transmissions are found in the highest echelons of motorsport, where milliseconds mean the difference between victory and a champagne shower for someone else. They use a system of dog rings and selectors to engage gears, allowing for incredibly fast, positive gear changes. Think of it like a ratchet mechanism, where you can only shift one gear up or down at a time. Now you might be thinking, that sounds brilliant. Why don't all cars have them? Well, I'll tell you why. They're loud, they're clunky, and they're about as user-friendly as a rabid badger in a phone booth. The manual transmission. The last bastion of true driving involvement, the mechanical symphony that connects man and machine in a way no other transmission can. This, my friends, is the gearbox for those who like to feel the cogs meshing, the engine roaring, and the raw, unadulterated feedback that only a manual transmission can provide. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Jeremy, isn't a manual gearbox a bit outdated in this age of paddle shifters and flappy paddle gearboxes? And to that I say poppycock. A manual transmission is not about speed or efficiency. It's about the experience, the feeling of control, the satisfaction of executing a perfect heel and toe downshift. It's about being one with your car, about feeling every single revolution of the engine through the palm of your hand. It's about the joy of driving, pure and simple. Yes, they might be a bit of a pain in stop-and-go traffic, and yes, you might end up with Popeye forearms from all that clutch work. So there you have it, a whirlwind tour of the wonderful world of car transmissions. From the effortless convenience of the automatic to the raw, mechanical engagement of the manual, each transmission type offers its own unique set of advantages and disadvantages. It's like choosing the right tool for the job. Need a comfortable cruiser for long motorway journeys? An automatic or CVT will suit you just fine. Fancy yourself a bit of a speed demon on the track? A DCT or sequential gearbox will be your weapon of choice. But no matter what your driving style or budget, remember this: the transmission is the unsung hero of your car, the silent partner that makes every journey an adventure. So the next time you're behind the wheel, take a moment to appreciate the magic happening beneath you. Each transmission type offers unique advantages tailored to specific needs and driving styles. Automatics and CVTs are best for comfort and fuel efficiency. DCTs and sequential transmissions excel in performance applications. AMTs provide a budget-friendly middle ground. Manual transmissions remain a favorite among enthusiasts for their control and durability. Understanding the pros, cons, and common problems of each can help you make an informed decision when purchasing or maintaining a vehicle.